Welcome back to Athletic Avengers, where we slam dunk the truth harder than a high school boys' team schooling the WNBA. So the WNBA players are out here, stomping their feet, wearing Pay Us What You Owe Us t-shirts at their all-star game, demanding bigger paychecks. Really? Let's break this down because this is a layup for comedy gold. First off, the WNBA all-star game? Woof. It was like watching a middle school scrimmage with worse defense than a paper towel fort. Final score 151-131. No D, more like no duh. Even ESPN's El Duncan couldn't help but roast the lack of effort, and fans on X were calling it lame as fuck. Ouch! No wonder the ratings are tanking harder than a bad sitcom. The 2024 All-Star Game barely scraped 3.4 million viewers, while the NBA's worst games still pull double that. Nobody's watching, folks. Graphic pie chart showing WNBA's 2024 viewership 470,000 AVG. For playoffs versus NBA's 11.3 M for finals. Sheesh, that's gotta hurt. Why the empty seats and remote controls switching channels? Simple, the product's just not there. Fans on X are brutal. It's high school level ball, one said. Another called it a failing business model, harsh, but true. The WNBA is begging for a bigger slice of a $2.2 billion media deal, but they're pulling in a fraction of the NBA's $10 billion revenue. You can't demand NBA-level pay when your league's operating at a loss, subsidized by the NBA's deep pockets. Caitlin Clark's the only one filling seats, and even she can't save this ship. The players want revenue sharing like the NBA's 50-50 split, but they're getting 9.3% of a much smaller pie. Newsflash, you're not LeBron James. The WNBA's minimum salary is $66,000 for a 42-game season, more than most Americans make for a full year. And yet they're crying for millions while many still cash checks playing overseas. Greedy much? Maybe focus on making games people want to watch instead of whining for a bigger cut of nothing. Look, you want respect, you want fair pay, but you gotta earn it. Hack arenas, spike ratings, make your freaking layups, and maybe, just maybe, you'll have a case. Until then, stop acting like you're owed NBA money for a product that's barely outdrawing arena football. Step up your game, WNBA, or keep shooting airballs in those CBA talks. They're serving up games that look like my little sister's rec league, except with worse haircuts. The pace is slower than a DMV line, the defense is softer than a marshmallow, and the highlight reels are just a montage of missed shots and turnovers. Fans on X are straight up savage. I'd rather watch competitive knitting, one said. Another posted, the WNBA is like a bad Netflix show, canceled after one season, and don't get me started on the arenas. Half the time, it looks like they're playing in a community center with folding chairs. You want big money, start filling those seats and spiking those ratings, or you're just shouting into the void. The WNBA's got some talented players. Caitlin Clark, a walking highlight. But one or two stars don't make a league. The NBA's got global icons LeBron, SGA, Steph Curry pulling in billions in merch tickets and TV deals. The WNBA's got, well, a couple of viral TikToks and a dream. They're begging for a bigger cut of a pie that's barely a cupcake, while the NBA's out here baking a 12-tier wedding cake. The WNBA's been around for 28 years, and they're still losing money every season. That's not a flex, that's a cry for help. Maybe instead of whining for millions, they should focus on making games people actually want to watch. Step 1, learn how to play structured basketball. Step 2, stop expecting a participation trophy in the form of a max contract. Look, Athletic Avengers isn't here to hate. Okay, maybe a little. But we're keeping it 100. You want respect? Earn it. Hack arenas like the NBA does. Get your ratings out of the basement. Make games that don't feel like a punishment for forgetting to DVR Pawn Stars. Until then, stop acting entitled for a product that's barely outdrawing a monster truck rally. The WNBA's got potential, but right now, it's a league of airballs, empty stands, and pipe dreams. Take this L, work on your jump shot, and maybe we'll talk about that raise in 2030. That's a wrap, Avengers. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and drop a comment telling us why you'd rather watch grass grow than tune into the WNBA. Want more roasts? Check out our videos on the overpaid NFL bench warmers and why golf is secretly a scam. Peace out, fam!